going to talk to you about what to do when your child is telling a lie. I know this is a very stressful situation. We worry when children are lying, our children are lying. We don't want to raise a child who lies. We want our kids to tell us the truth at all times. We want to make sure that we're raising the value of honesty. So sometimes when they start lying, we worry, am I doing something wrong? Is this going to stay forever? How can I help him? And we talk and talk and talk about how lying is bad, how it's not accepted, how God has asked us to always say the truth, and nothing changes. So let's start by saying why kids lie in the first place. So basically, what I would like to let you know that it's very normal for all children to lie at a point of time. Almost every child at some point between the age of 3, 4 to 7, they would start to try just testing out the new behavior they can do. Actually, this is a new developmental milestone that my mind can create something other than what has happened in reality. So they start by testing it. They also have big imagination, so it's very helpful for them it's very easy for them to make up stories at this point of time. They try it out, they test it, they see how it goes. They don't yet know if people are going to believe me or not. So it starts out by testing the behavior. Sometimes when we give a very big reaction, children get curious. What's happening here? And they keep repeating it. So we need to remind ourselves to stay calm and give them a firm but peaceful reaction when this happens. And we're going to suggest how in a minute. Another reason that kids might be lying is to gain approval. They want to show that they're doing the right thing. They want to show that they're doing well. They sometimes want to, if they're not feeling so good about themselves, they make up stories about good things that they've done, for instance. Another reason would be if they're too scared. And this is why we always encourage to build our relationship with our kids on trust and love and connection. Because once we start handling the relationship based on fear, we will find that they will be so scared that they will start saying lies, they will start hiding things from us, they will start being so scared that we know the truth when something is not going well or if they've done a mistake. So let's think first of what can we do to avoid lying in the first place. As we always say, have a strong connection, have a safe space for kids where they know they can bring anything to this place. They are gonna be loved and accepted unconditionally. Someone is gonna help them out with the problem or the bad thing that has happened, rather than be there to judge them and punish them. And we also need to be sensitive in modeling honesty, because sometimes without noticing, we keep talking about how it's very important to be honest, but we whether say or encourage what we call white lies, like for instance, when they overhear us talking on the phone and telling someone that we can't go to your event because someone is sick, or when we tell them when we are late for practice, tell the coach that something happened on the road. We need to be sure that they are learning from what we're doing much more than from what we're saying. So another approach is to always focus on the positive, not the negative. So try to focus on honesty rather than focusing on lying. Talk about honesty at home, talk about stories where some people were honest, whether from history, from our sunnah, from stories, from movies. Tell them situations where you needed to be honest at work, for instance, and how hard it was sometimes, and how it felt good standing up for your truth. So try to focus on honesty rather than focusing on the lying. So what do we do if after all this, which is probably going to happen, my child is telling a lie? Be sure not to label, not to call them liars. We try to avoid labels as much as we can, because as we mentioned before, kids believe everything we put as labels on them, especially if we keep repeating them. So if we keep telling them you're a liar, by time they will have to start lying, even if they weren't lying as much in the beginning. Don't try to go into the argument of no, this is not what happened, say the truth, I'm saying the truth. Don't go into this argument, because usually it's not going to end well and we're not going to get anywhere. They probably get more defensive. Try as much as possible to reply in a gentle way. For instance, if it's a very simple thing like I finished my homework, or I did, and when you think that they actually didn't, gently say, I don't think this is, I don't think you've actually finished. Very gently. I'm not sure if you have finished. This is in the case that I'm actually sure of what has happened, or that what they're saying is not true. An approach that I like is to give them a second chance. Sometimes kids are very impulsive, so they just say what comes to their mind without thinking thoroughly about it. So when they say something and you know for a fact that it's not the truth, it's a good idea to tell them, for instance, do you want to try to tell me this again? If they're telling you a story about, they're making up something that has happened. My friend, my teacher told me whatever, or my friend told me whatever. You can start, especially at the young age, by telling them something like, I don't know, something in this story is not making sense to me. Can you try to tell it to me again? If they say that they have finished the homework and they know that, and you know that they didn't, you can tell them, okay, I'm gonna give you another chance. I'm gonna ask you again in 10 minutes and I'm gonna see what you're gonna say. So just don't try to corner them to say the lie and prove that they're lying. Always try to give them another chance, because at the beginning they're still learning to control the urge of just looking good or just saying the right thing. It would be also a good idea to start explaining how usually parents know when a child is lying, how we would understand the facts in a different way, how others can see things in a different way, how the information would reach us in a way or another. So you start helping them see the other side of the story. If we tried all this and then it didn't work, just like we always say, they need to be responsible for the results of their choices. So we start applying consequences. We can tell them that our feelings get hurt when they tell us a lie. So what are you gonna do about this, and give them a chance to fix it. If they have lied about something, they need to fix the mistake that they have lied about. Just think of it on the long term, that it's not just about this moment. Think of it, the moment they lie, think of it as a teachable moment. Children and people in general learn from their mistakes. So when your child is telling a lie, think about it as an opportunity to help them learn from it, rather than a moment to punish and make them feel bad about what they did. Be patient, and inshallah it will happen at the right time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.